Hey, I gave you guys warning this time.
Yeah. No, it was a completely planned startle.
Yes, of course.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to episode 1 of The Haunting of Hanashira. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are playing Daggerheart tonight, and I think this will be the first time for many of you to actually play this game. We did a quick session 0 and a 0.9 last week where we built our characters out. You guys have fabulous characters with incredible backstories. I'm really looking forward to see how they play out in this little game of ours. But I'm going to dive straight in, if you guys don't mind. When we last left off, 4 of you were gathered within the courtyard at the center of town of Mujin. Here, there is a large pool, a gathering spot for the community to come together at the end of the day where the miners come, rinse off the soot and the ash from their faces from a long day in the mines. Children splashing about in the wading pool. And this pool surrounds an enormous tree. It's an enormous ginkgo tree. But the ginkgo trees in this area, instead of turning yellow in the fall, they turn a brilliant red color. Today is a special day. Today is the Mujin Gala. It is unfortunately on the same day as the Festival of Falling Leaves. However, that festival belongs to the older generation, not really celebrated anymore. Nobody really understands what it was about anyway. And it's quickly become forgotten. But you're reminded of this as some of these ginkgo leaves start to drift down. Before we go any further in this story, we are in Zola's world. It is late at night. You're burning the midnight oil. There are scrolls, books, and diagrams littering your table and the walls. What is Zola working on?
Oh, I think she's at her desk and she is like taking notes on the upcoming project that she talked to Mal. What's his full name again?
Malachite.
Malachite. Yeah, so she's just taking notes about the project that she working on with Mal. Having like doing like sketches, that lined notebook. So she's just staying up late thinking about the project. Told her dad
What
like
is-
I would have something ready by this date, and there is still nothing.
What is it that you are designing?
It is a type of sword that is powered by the coal dust, and it is like a security measure. And it could also also it illuminates, but there have been a lot of protests, people unhappy about the Dahan Corp. And so to make the security and things like that more formidable, next idea.
You know that the day after the gala, your father has a very important board meeting,
Yeah.
and he is intending on presenting you to the board. Fabulous. And as you think of this, as you're burning the midnight oil, you hear a loud on your door.
Oh, okay. And then she won't say like who is it. It's someone in the family. So she gets up and goes to the door and like just a small peek out to see who it is. Slowly opens it.
Standing there in Dahan colors of purple and gold, it's your father.
Oh, hi. I mean, good evening. And just little head bow. Can I help you?
As soon as you open the door, a crack. He pushes the door open the rest of the way,
Oh,
barely casts you a glance,
yep.
gives a little head nod, barely noticeable as he passes by you. And he looks about your workshop in a very judgmental way. He rubs his finger along one table, holds it up, and lays the dust between them.
Ah. Darn it. Yep.
Zola,
Yeah. Hi. Yes.
are you ready?
I'm always ready. Ready for what specifically?
You see him grit his teeth as he tries to find patience
Great.
talking to you.
Great.
In 2 days, I will be going before the board of Daehan, and I intend on presenting you to him as a potential successor to my head of engineering. Now, in order for me to convince them, you must prove yourself. You know that. I know you have been working on something as he tries to he shuffles through some of the papers on your table.
She's gonna rush over to the papers. Yeah, no, I definitely have something ready. I will be ready in 2 days' time. You don't have to you don't have to worry about that, of course.
Looks at you. No, you won't disappoint me, will you?
No, no, of course not.
Because you know your successes as well as your failures will reflect upon me.
Of course. Of course. My success is your success, as are my failures.
He looks about the room one last time and says, clean this place up.
Okay. She just cleaned it an hour ago.
And without a word or another nod, he walks out, leaving the door open.
Have a good night.
There's no response from him.
And she'll start to clean it. She's like, I just cleaned it an hour ago. And then she'll just start to go around and organize the papers even more. She's trying to think about like what can I clean to perfection even more. And so she starts to go around and clean, gets her little companion spirit. Familiar, yeah. He goes around and starts to like bob and help her organize as well.
What is Zola's state of mind at this point?
Extremely nervous. She doesn't think she's lying. She's gonna go talk to Mal and try to figure something out immediately. Like if he has to stay up all night, 48 hours to get this thing done, if they need to get together and put their heads together, this is going to get done because she's not going to be made a liar. So that's just all she's thinking about. It's late, but she might even go to his residence night. It's like that kind of pressure is on her.
All right, so we are going to pan across the city to the bladesmiths that live just at the edge of town. And in there, we find Mal, or Malachite, hard
Yeah, my friends
Forging.
call me Mal. That's all good.
The GM's not your friend. Just kidding.
This is in the middle of night, but the forges are still fired up in your smithy, and you're working a piece of ghost steel. What are you working on?
What Mal is working on, he has spent some time making sure that his dad went to bed, which was a feat within itself because his father likes to be the one to close up the shop, count up everything, and and before going to bed. But Mal took it upon himself to take that load off of his father to make sure that he had the space of the forge to himself, which he gets very little time to without his father like over his shoulder. So what he's doing now that he's finally made sure his father's asleep, that everyone else is out of like earshot, his sister has gone to work, and he has laid out his sword, his great sword, which is his first masterpiece. The Ember Songs over their lifetime are try to achieve as many mastercraft pieces of blade of weaponry, and this is his first one. And he's trying to replicate the process from what he did for this great sword into a much thinner, more delicate piece of metal. And because that's what he's trying to do, because with his agreement with Zola, is if he can figure out how to replicate what he did with his sword onto a smaller blade, they could produce more of them and it would help Zola look good in front of her father. It could save his father's business. This is the 6th piece of metal that he's been tampering with, and it's just on the verge of breaking again because he's just trying to figure out how finely tuned the metal is. Like, he knows that his family utilizes their breath. Like his father, he's inherited a fiery breath. His mother has an icy breath, and so do his brothers. So, because he was the first son born with fire breath, it's his job to be in the forge. So he knows he has to temper with just how calm and controlled his breath is as he's tempering with the ghost coal to get it just right. But as he's doing it, he just gets so frustrated, and his giant draconic hands are struggling to hold the piece together so delicately. It's like a full-grown adult messing with children's utensils. Like, they're just comically small. And he has some goggles over his eyes. He has a small hammer in his right hand, and he's holding it with his left hand. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. And he gently tries to breathe some of the fiery flames just from his nostrils to get just enough of a fire so that he can flatten out the blade and spread out the energy of the ghost coal, similar to his blade, which he just wailed on with all his strength and it worked, but this is so much smaller. And Mal's unfortunately been cursed with heavy hands. So he brings the hammer down, and there's a spark of this blue fire that sends him flying backwards. He gets back up, and he waits to see if what he just did woke up his father, his mother.
I'm going to have you make a roll at this point.
Please, yes.
Hell yeah.
So tell me what you want to roll.
I think I would normally say with making big weapons, I would go with strength, but I think because he's really trying to be more delicate, I think this would be more of a finesse roll.
I agree.
Which I am only okay at.
You got this. You got this.
But I do have experience as a forge apprentice, so that does give me the +2 bonus, and I have a +1 to finesse, so this would be the fate dice +3.
Okay.
Duality dice.
Oh,
My fate dice, Wally dice. Ah!
there's so many mechanics in my brain.
You have to use hope.
You do have to spend a hope to get that experience.
Okay.
You know what? I think he's feeling pretty good about it. I'm gonna forego the hope, and we're just gonna do the +1 and see what happens.
All right.
It's a double. It's a double.
Double. We don't know which one is fear or hope,
It's,
but
it's
But-
critical.
it's still a critical
They're
success.
both one.
I'll leave it up to you.
It's a critical success. You do get your hope back.
Wow, I've never been so happy to see Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any stress yet, but we are also
No.
implementing plot point roll. So because you rolled a critical success, you do gain additional plot point.
Ooh, I like that.
And Mal, what does this critical success look like?
I think what happens here is at first Mal thinks that he's broken another piece of this steel and he's going to have to make up an excuse to Zola as to why this one was broken and why he needs another piece of ghost steel. But as he looks at it, he did break off more than he wanted to, but the bluish hue, just like his greatsword, where it sort of like emanates the combination of his family's fire as well as whatever spiritual energy comes from the ghost coal, thrums at the fort of this smaller blade. It breaks off to be more of like a dagger's length, so it's not a complete sword, but it's at a dagger's length. And he looks at it, he cleans it up, and peering at it and holding it against the moon, and then picking up his greatsword and like standing it up and like putting it against it, he lines up the light to look at that. The intensity is perfect. It's not exactly what he wanted. It's not a full blade, but he's somehow figured out, okay, if I just keep my breath calm when I emit my fiery breath and hit it in just the perfect spot, I can transfer the fiery energy and the ghost coal into this beautiful steely cocktail of energy. Yeah, steely cocktail, he says to himself. Oh.
Nice.
And he looks at it, and his eyes bulge out, and he, like he's quietly jumping around, not hitting anything, but like containing his breath, going, yes, yes. And there's like fiery sparks coming out of his nostrils and out of his tiny little like draconic ears, and he wants to like chest bump somebody, but he doesn't have anyone to chest bump.
Oh.
So he ends. Could I use a plot point to introduce someone into the scene for a second?
And
I think he knows his sister, Opal, works the night watch, sort of like the security at night. It's her first job. But because he's a helicopter brother, he knows her patrol perfectly. And he tracks her down and pulls her aside to show her what he's done. I think Opal's the only person other than Zola that knows what's happening with the project, because Opal's good at keeping secrets for a price, but she keeps the secret. And she's about 19, so she's like late teen. She's an orange Dracona, a blend of her father, deep red, and their mother, who is pure white.
I'm going to have you make an instinct roll for me, please, to see how long it takes you to find your sister.
Okay, no problem. Instinct for me is also at a +1. Add all to the roll. Here we go. I did it right this time.
2d12 plus 1.
Another critical success.
Yo!
Oh my
What?
God.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Use it all up
Yeah.
now, man.
Oh,
Man.
snap!
Favorite
Not only do you
privilege.
find her.
I have sibling radar.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
So you're going to get a hope. You already have almost regained that plot point.
Oh, awesome.
And you know your sister's normal route as she patrols Mujin. You also know that she has been infatuated by Baram. And she knows that Baram stays at the cog and often performs there. So on a hunch, you deviate from her normal route
No.
and make
don't
your
you-
way to the seedy alley.
Oh god, she's at the car. Gross.
I think he does. I think he realizes that he's quick enough that he realizes, she's not over by the watering hole. As his nostrils flare, and he sprints towards the missing cog and does that thing that a suspecting parent does when they're waiting for their kid to sneak in, and he sort of sits against the corner in the darkness and waits for Opal to come by with her lantern and her spear,
Diabolical.
and to sort of
It's evil.
and he sits there and he does the parent trap to her.
My mom did that to me once.
As you approach the
Same.
missing,
That's how I know it so meticulously.
you approach the missing cog, and you can see her. She's peering through the window, trying to be inconspicuous because she is a guard, and this is the seedier part of town. She doesn't want to attract much attention to herself. But she kind of cloaked her lantern. She kind of leaned her spear up against the wall, and she's dusting off the grime on this window so she can look inside. You can hear inside boisterous laughter. She doesn't notice you're there.
He does a couple of the obnoxious coughs and realizes that she's not picking up on it. And then he's going to tap her on the shoulder very casually.
She jumps a mile high, grabs for her spear, fumbles with it, tries to pick up her lantern again, whirls around, faces you. She's eyes wide, ready for someone like to attack
It's
her.
funny, I didn't realize that the Mujin guard were in charge of cleaning dirty windows.
She sees you in front of her and says, "What the hell are you?" She suddenly looks around, grabs your arm, and starts escorting you out of this part of town.
He allows it, even though he could very easily overpower her. He allows it because he's already won.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Well, firstly, I was going to show you something really, really cool, but I'm also trying to save your job. You know you're not supposed to deviate from your patrol.
Nothing ever happens in Mujin. And have you seen him? Have you seen?
I wish I could see less of him. Listen, I understand. There is some talent to what he does. And he knows how to use a blade. I will admit that.
Does he?
But he is a problem. There's a reason he's in the cog and you're not. He doesn't have a family line to keep in charge of. He's got nothing. You and me, we got a whole family.
This blasted lineage. Why can't I just have fun once in a while?
All right. I realize I'm starting to sound like Dad. Okay.
I think.
He gives her a side eye. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll do the last little round of your patrol because I'm still awake. And you can go watch, as long as you don't go inside. You can keep an eye on and watch him for whatever. And I won't say anything. Part of our deal. All right?
Where are you carrying this new blade of yours?
Oh, he's got it in his, big satchel.
Okay. All right, so not visible to her.
No. And he's like,
By the way, what are you doing out here at this hour?
oh, I almost forgot. I was so overwhelmed by that I forgot to tell you. And he has it in a leathery sort of cloth and opens it up and shows her the ghost steel dagger that he's crafted. I did
You
it.
did that?
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah. I mean, it took 5 times, but yeah.
Can I hold it?
Be very careful. He lets her hold it, but is also still holding it.
It's a little tug of war going on
Yeah,
with this little the hacker.
The weight's pretty good. I'm gonna give it a nice little cross guard with the family pommel, the draconic head. But yeah, I think it's great. I think Zola's gonna be pretty happy with this.
Oh, you're giving it to her.
Well,
I mean-
I told you it. Listen, Dad really screwed up by spitting in the Daeon's face with the proposal, and I'm trying to keep us on the up and up.
It's such a beautiful blade, and as she looks at it, you can see this beautiful steel blade. It has this slight blue tinge to it, and every once in a while, you see like a vein running up and down this blade, giving off a faint light.
You like it, don't you?
It's beautiful, and you know what? You know who could really show this blade off?
Don't say it.
Adam.
You mother.
I mean,
You
I
know?
mean, if you want to show off what
I
this
was
thing can
this
do,
close to just making an excuse again for Zola and letting you have it, but now very clearly your intentions are not. Give me it back, and he wrestles it back from her.
Gosh.
If I happen to make another one, and you promise you don't give it to him, you can have it.
she eyes where you put the dagger. And says, I don't know what kind of spell she has over you, but
It's not a spell. It's a business agreement amongst 2 intellectuals.
business agreement. Okay, I see that.
Yeah. It was we didn't sign anything, but it was a verbal agreement.
Okay. Okay, big brother, whatever you say.
It's a business partnership.
Darn right,
Thanks.
whatever I say.
She pushes the lantern and spear into your chest. Thanks for taking the rest of my shift.
Yeah, no problem. Enjoy the show.
Not without a look over her shoulder, she scampers back down that dark alley.
If he beefs it on that flip, you better tell me. With a big huff and blowing out some steam through his nostrils and watching his sister have some fun, there's a bit of relief that he's allowing her to go do that, because he realizes that he was sounding a lot like his father, where it's just about work, work, work. And he forgets that it's also that she's just a kid and should have some fun. And even though he doesn't agree with her resource of fun, he's going to let it go. And he's going to go memorize how he's going to pitch this dagger. He knows it's not a sword, it's a dagger, but it's still something. He goes to get it wrapped up in the nicest cloth that isn't covered in soot and grime, and try to get a good night's rest after doing the patrol for his sister.
We're going to shift the camera once more. Out beyond the walls of Mujin. And we're going to go back maybe a year or two now to a time when the industry within Mujin was still actively being developed. It hadn't quite hit the peak that it is now. The rail lines were still being installed. The new shaft was just being dug out. At this time, we find a slightly different Bara in a temple, sitting cross-legged. Sorry, that was my dog.
That was me.
That was Bottom. That was him a year ago.
He's like,
Different time. Had that dog in him.
got that dog in
Got
him.
that dog.
He's in a ditch somewhere.
Nice. You're just sitting cross-legged from your master, and you're the last student that is in this temple, and your master's an aging tortoise, where the Galapa. Even for a Galapa who can live hundreds of years, this man has lived a long and full life, and despite his age, he's still able to teach, and you can still feel the bruises on your thighs and your back from the sparring that you've done with him earlier that day. But as you sit across from him in the fading light of this autumn day and see the leaves starting to turn and fall and drift around you in this open temple, he whispers to you in a voice thin as paper, Arama, my last pupil.
Yes.
My days becoming shorter. I have taught you all that I can.
Well, don't say that. I mean, I went over all of the forms, but you still need to teach me all of the spirit energy manipulation stuff. I don't know how to do any of that.
Aram, you are ready.
I thank you, Master, but I feel like I'm far from ready. There's still so much for me to learn.
He smiles at you, and in his eyes you see a mixture of joy, pride, tinged with sorrow. He reaches out with one hand, and he rarely ever touches you unless he's striking you. But he rests his hand on yours, and he says, time is coming, and the veil between our world and the spirits will thin. There will come a time when the this world will need a hero. And in his lap is his sword. It is sheathed right now in black lacquered sheath, and it is embossed with inlaid mother of pearl in the form of a tiger.
Ooh.
Fancy.
And he sits back and with both hands, he places a sword in front of you on the ground. This sword needs a steward. I was its steward until as long as I could. But the time is beyond my years, and so I must pass it to you.
Master, I could never wield it. I'm not. I couldn't be this hero. I will carry it, but I'll do my best to try and find this hero, to make sure that whoever wields this sword is actually someone who is able to protect people and fight for them. But that person could never be me.
With a sharp rap, lightning speed for such an old Kalapa, he just raps you with a bamboo shaft across the face.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Have I taught you nothing, Adam? I've always had it within you. You simply need to let it out.
In this moment, there's a quick sequence of possible words that Baden could have said in this moment, saying things like, then why could I never conjure the spirits? Why could I never do the forms that you taught me properly? Why could I not protect anyone until now? Then why could I not even keep my own family together? And all of those possibilities just flow with the breeze as Bottom just sits there silently and says, I am sorry. I am a slow learner, as you know, but I understand. But if I may ask, where could I even go? This is all I have. I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't know what else I could do. I feared that you just tell me that I should just follow my heart and everything will be okay, because that is a bullshit answer.
You know that he would have whacked you for that.
Yes.
And he's holding back.
Yeah. With all seriousness, I must be honest and tell you that I am afraid. I don't know what to do.
He just has this almost silly smile on his face as he's looking at you and he's listening to you talk. Rama, no. You will be lost. The road will be your home for a while until you find that hero. One who can bridge the spirit world and ours and heal old wounds. That is your strength. Move from place to place. And you move those.
Well, that was
Either
kind of
way.
vague, but
Wow.
He smacks you across the face.
Okay. Yes, I understood. Yes. Yes. Thank you for everything.
What I pass on to you is not a gift, but a burden.
I will carry it with all my might. And I take the sword. It feels oddly light. And in this moment, Bottom realizes that he's never actually got to see this sword because it's always sheathed, and I guess fortunately he's never had to see it and witness what it can do. So he just takes it and keeps it in its sheath and puts it away. And he would spend these last couple of minutes with his master, saying goodbye to him and the temple. And he would pick a direction and follow it. Follow the wind, whatever direction it's facing.
And as you take the last steps away from this temple, in the last rays of the evening light, you look over your shoulder and you still see the motionless form of your master sitting in lotus position in the middle of the temple floor. And his head bows.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is the smell
not the key change.
of ash and smoke, and you hear the cracking of timbers. You have been perhaps taking a walk, maybe foraging away from your colony for a little while now. When this scent of ash and smoke is carried on the wind down the slope of Mount Pekchu, you can hear a rumbling sound of the train that has recently been installed here. The track's recently been built, and the cars kind of rumble along it, coming to a screeching halt. You hear the sound of metal grinding on metal, and then you feel the heat that accompanies that smell. At first, you're not quite sure what is happening, but as that heat intensifies, you can start seeing the trees above you where the train tracks lie start to alight like enormous torches. And you can hear what sounds to be like a soft sizzle, something slowly creeping down the slope towards you and the
What?
colony below. What would Wannick like to do at this time?
Wanik is the name that the people of Mujin call him. Part of his name is Pekwashnamekoswashkapinawik. And he's out on a walk, on a journey, on a trek in the forest of Jurang. He could feel that through the mycelium underneath his branched feet. And it just filters up through him, and he moves as quickly as he can toward it. It's an imperative. His colony is all he has, all he's ever known. Time for his people is oddly different than others. They don't count it or track it the same, but I think the whole forest just comes up through him. He's part of it. He's connected to the bottom of it. And as the trees light up on fire over him, he can almost hear them screaming up through the mycelium, through his feet, as he's making his way as fast as possible through heavy brush and tree limbs and towards whatever this.
Wannick, please make an agility check for me, please.
You can do it.
You got this. Come on.
Let's go.
His agility is 2, so he gets
Okay.
a +2.
Okay.
It's a fast boy.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He gets a 17 with hope.
There you
Hey.
go.
All right. Take that hope. And this forest is familiar to you. You know where the twigs and the roots and the fallen trees are. And I don't know if you can still hear my
That's just
dog
part of the
howling.
forest.
I was
So
saying,
that's forest sound right there.
that is an extra level of immersion.
Yeah. I'm so in it.
You know your way through this. Even in the darkest of nights, this is your home. And you rush as quickly as you can back towards your colony. You are perhaps a mile away. It will take you a little bit of time to get back there. And as you race back towards you can see this fiery destruction slowly creeping down the hill, almost moving at what would seem to be at a glacial pace, but unstoppable. And even from this distance, you can see the glow of some fire or something molten moving down the slope and just melting everything in its path. And you start to feel that heat. You arrive at the outskirts of your colony just as this slag starts to sweep through it. It has reached your ring of elders. And as the slag and it's like molten lava almost, it reaches them. You can hear them, actually feel them first through the mycelial network, cry out in agony, and you can feel it through the network, mycelial network.
I think Squanoe Kosquaskapinawik doesn't have anything to do. The fire's too bright, too hot, too terrible. And these were everything he had. The elders who formed him, who provided the seeds for his formation. And they're not almost all gone. He could see the slag slowly boil over them, and he drops to his gnarly knees and thrusts his hands into the earth itself and connects himself directly to the mycelium, because he can talk to his people through it at a distance. And he wants them to know in this last minute what they mean to him. He only really found one of them, Aomata Akagaya Amatea, who's just barely clinging to life, fragmenting, collapsing, dissolving. And the Sessa elder just says a single word. He repeats it in 3 or 4 voices, one voice auspicious and the other inauspicious in number. And Wannick's on his hands and knees, and he repeats this word over and over. His respiratory centers are varied, so it provides airflow through his vocal apparatus at different speeds and volumes. And so his voice is this multi-timbered kind of chorus of who Wannick is. And he just repeats this word over and over, trying to get a sense of it. What does it mean? He's never heard of it. Mujin. 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 And then he just stands and stumbles away from his colony that he loses. That was everything. And he loses a sense of self, I think, strength. It's everything he's had, everything he's known. He watches all his elders and the other mobile fungrels taken over by this slag, and he falls against a great tree, somewhat uncertain and lost and alone, and dormancy settles on him. He's there for a period of time, just difficult to know because they don't really count time like that. And he almost begins his own cessation, almost becomes rooted into the ground. And then through this heat and this dark and this smoke and this black fog that surrounds him is this little bright spot of yellow. And Harakwam, the Princess of Bees, comes tumbling through this terrible loss of his colony, and she's running from her own failure and a thing that's hunting her. And she sees Wannick and thinks it's better place to hide. And she lands on him and starts burrowing into the hard parts of his chest while Wanik is there talking to himself like he always does, trying to make sense of what's happening, telling himself the story so he doesn't ever forget it, of the loss of his colony. And Harakwelm is inside his chest wall, and she has a moment of compassion, which is somewhat uncommon for her as a princess of bees. And she thrums inside Wanik's chest as she listened to him ruminate and talk to themselves about the loss of their colony, and as Wanik tries to come to terms with it. But she finally, in dormancy, as she's trying to hide from this thing that is hunting her, the princess of bees buzzes and bumbles inside him and shakes him out of this doldrum, this despondency, and tells Wanik she knows a way. She knows what Mujin is. She knows a way to Mujin. And if the last word of your elder was Mujin, then there's purpose in it. And she commands him to rise. Rise, Pesquash the name Kloswaska Pinuik. Rise. I will show you the way to Mujin. And Wanik shakes it off, gets up, and turns his back on his lost colony and begins a week-long travel through the Jurong forest under the guidance of Harakwelm, the princess of bees, towards Mujin to figure out what this word was that his elder gave him with his last moments.
And with that, we return back to Mujin. Welcome back. I think my dog is very relieved now. So, hopefully,
No, I didn't hear a dog. I heard like the sounds of the forest.
all right.
The screams of dying fungal.
That's what
Exactly.
that was.
Often confused with dog.
Yeah.
All right. So, the four of you race towards mine shaft number 4, and around you, you see the miners who just moments ago had returned from the mines after the day's work turn right around because they know what that sound of the whistle means, that there is something bad. So they all rush back, and families, women, children follow in suit. Half the community is rushing up this hill, up the tracks towards mine shaft number 4. And by the time you arrive, you see a crowd huddled around the entrance to the mine shaft.
Well, that is dangerous. Maybe we should leave that to the authorities.
Oh, Zola starts to
Someone will
make her way
handle it.
through the crowd.
Wait, let
Oh,
me.
wait.
And
I guess we're going in. Should we pull people away from the entrance?
Yeah,
I feel
you
like that
pull-
should be.
Yeah, pull them away.
Okay.
Wanik?
Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Let
Face
us
palm.
through. And I would like to try and draw people's attention so they could walk away from the entrance because it could be dangerous and leave space so Mal, Zola, and Wennick could go closer to the entrance.
I'd make that presence check.
Presents. Okay.
Do it.
Oh, I'm good. Am I? Yes, I'm good. So I got a +2. Yeah.
Before we get started, actually, I forgot to mention, we got to adjust your spirit Mujin trackers. And I'm going to ask each of you what you think you should start with.
More
I'll start
Mujin.
with the more Mujin for
Yeah.
for Baram. +1 then.
Yes.
All right. How about Zola?
Same.
+1 on the Mujin side.
Mhm.
Mal?
I think Mal's sitting neutral
Mhm.
with a 0 in neither direction.
Okay.
I
And
think Wanik started far to spirit, but he's been in Mujin for a while, and he's got some of the Mujin coming up through the soil and taking the kids up and down the giant tree. So I think he's only shy towards spirit, maybe 1,
Nice. So
2,
plus
I
1
think.
spirit.
Right.
All right, and I have to reduce the countdown because it was reduced last game. So we're down at 11, and I have 4 fear.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay.
Don't forget the,
No,
the
that's
noises.
good. It's good not to think about
All
it.
right. So with your plus 1 on the Mujin side, Baram, you're going to get plus 1 on this roll.
Okay. So it's +1 because I'm panning towards Mujin. +2 for my presence. And I also have one of my experiences is put up a show. And I have a +2 to that. So do I get another +2 to this roll or?
Sure. Spend a hope to get that experience, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll
do
spend a
it.
hope. So it's a +5. I got this. Let's go.
Easy.
You.
Oh,
So that was a 13 with fear.
Take that here. So the crowd looks at you. They're slightly distracted by what is in front of them. Most of them are like craning their necks and trying to push forward themselves to see what's going on. And so when you call out to them, only half of them really pay any attention to you.
Please, everyone. It could be dangerous, so maybe you should just step away from the entrance, please. Let other people handle it.
Zola.
People. Oh, they're not
Go ahead.
listening.
Go ahead, Seth. Go ahead.
That's it. And I'll try to also kind of like move toward following Zola as well.
Zola, what are you wearing? Are you identifiable as a member of the Dehan family?
yes. What time of day is it again? I believe in
It
session
is
0
eve-
evening. Oh.
Yeah, like but 6 p.m.
End of the
Okay.
workday. Yeah.
She was wearing her day on corporation. She rarely leaves the house without the colors on.
So when those few people turned to look at you, Baram, and like, who is this guy trying to tell us to get out of the way? They spot you, Zola, and they immediately see your emblems and your uniform,
Yeah.
and they bow deeply to you. They like part.
Thank you. This is very dangerous. I think you guys should please step back. Please step back. And she starts to walk through them to the front. Yeah, I should have
It
rolled
is-
presence.
Quite clear. People aren't very subtle in this town, and you can clearly hear them saying, "That's the president's daughter. What's she doing here? Oh, this can't be good."
Please,
Mind your business.
please step back. This is very dangerous.
Yes. Please, let us handle it.
Wanik
Well, as a-
is exceedingly quiet as a wild-born. He's so light-footed that you lose him, even though he's 9
Yeah.
feet 3 meters tall. He just slides in and out of people, his big bulk, and he collects Harakwam, who he had sent forward, and the would-be lands on top of him. He says, "Gwam, what is happening?"
Can you,
He fumbles.
can you speak to Princess B?
Yeah,
Okay,
Nice.
she can communicate with you.
As-
She does a little dance, like you know how bees, when they return to a hive, they do this little dance to show where the honey is. He's doing that little dance. It's death, death ahead. She dances on her shoulder.
reclamation. Cannot
So,
let that happen.
As you emerge from this crowd surrounding, what you now see is the corpse of a man. It
Oh no.
is twisted and grotesque in its form. The arms are bent at odd angles, his hands almost clawing the sky and crooked fingers. You see his eyes are pitch black and wide open, no pupils. And from his eyes, his nose, his ears, his mouth, there is an black tar-like ooze.
I don't like it.
Can I go to touch his neck to check his pulse? Is what she's going to do.
You step forward to touch his neck. Make a knowledge check for me, please.
Nice. You
Okay,
got this.
so-
You got this.
Just
Do
2d12
it.
plus 2, right? That is an 18 with fear.
Ooh.
you think Zola has ever seen a dead body before?
No, never.
He is as cold as ice, and there's no pulse. I'm going to have you take a point of stress.
Her hand snaps back, and she kind of stumbles back away from the body.
I think she runs into Wannick. Wannick
He's-
puts a huge hand over and says,
He's dead. Oh my God.
"Do you have questions
God.
for him? I will speak with him."
You can speak to the dead.
Yes.
By all means.
I thought that was just a thing you said you could do as a trick.
What is trick? Looks
What's
at
that?
Guelm. Guelm. Oh, I will speak with him. He is not dead long, is he? He has not been reclaimed yet.
Yes, please try to speak with him.
We need to know what happened.
But this
Yes.
goes against all logic. If it's a dead body, you're not supposed to be able to talk.
Is there people around?
There are
Warming or
lots
something?
of people around.
I think Wannick has done this before, and people get kind of off a bit. And so he kneels before the body and he starts asking a lot of questions. Who is this? What is his name? Where did he live? Did he have children? Did he have a wife? What was his nickname? What did he like to do? He starts asking questions, just firing them off one and one and one. And he's really trying to pull people's attention just to the questions. Like they're important, but they're not really important. They're just to distract them from what he's really doing. And he puts one hand just barely above the man's black eyes, and he's unbuttoned like 2 or 3 buttons on his shirt, and he has the other hand just barely over his navel, just barely touching it. And these little white roots just kind of drop from the palms of his hands, and every place they touch the skin is a little incandescence, and then a little filigree of white underneath the skin. And he is going to use his fungal ability to ask this dead man a question. But he's
Right.
looking for something else, like he's asking everyone who this is. He needs to know the man's name, his family. Who's he alone? Does he have others? Who is he mining for?
I would
You-
say Mal would go like at least with someone else if someone wants to kind of like ask around, being like, "Hey, does anyone know who this is? What happened? Anyone?"
That's Minsu. He's new. He hasn't been here more than a day or two in the mines. This is such a tragedy. What is wrong with him?
Did anybody see what happened? Anybody?
You see one of the other miners as a kind of a scrawny. You would never think of him as a miner. He's just kind of maybe 4 feet high, human, but you can barely carry a pickaxe because it's kind of meekly steps forward. I found him.
What did you see?
I heard a cry in the darkness. I thought I was the last one out. I was supposed to turn out all the lamps on my way out, and I heard the cry of this something terrible in the darkness. Is he okay?
We're gonna figure that out. Why don't you get yourself something to drink and go down to the water by the town center and wash yourself off and compose yourself. All right?
And you can see him visibly trembling as someone helps guide him away. Wannick, you are hunched over your massive frame over this twisted corpse. And as you reach into him and try and reach him beyond death and ask him all of these bizarre questions, you hear a voice coming back to you. My shoe. Where is my shoe?
Whelm burbles. She's really calling Wannick a fool. It sounds just like a horse would say it, but but it's a lot more buzzy. And she tucks in and folds her wings down as the eyes roll back. Waddick hears this voice. He's partially paying attention as Mal is asking questions. Ninsu. I have your shoe. Is this Ninsu?
Oh, where's my shoe?
Do we all hear that body answering, or?
No.
I think so.
Oh,
I
so
thought
we're
not.
There's
just
only
standing
one.
there.
Yeah.
Is he saying anything back to you?
I don't think Waddick is responding. I think his eyes would roll back. He's falling back on his hunch. On
Oh.
his hands are now connected to the man's eyes and his belly button.
Oh, okay.
And his head is folded back.
That's disconcerting. While that's happening, can I try to look? Like, are there any trails or any signs of anything going in a different direction? If he just fell here, if there are no markings, no blood, no nothing dripping anywhere else in this area, just looking around.
Make an instinct check for me, please.
You can
Is
do
there
it.
any way I can help if I'm looking around as well?
Yeah, how would you like
Yeah.
to help?
I'm also I'm getting closer to like the entrance of the mind, and I'm also just another set of eyes that's also looking.
So Zola, you'll roll a d6, and that result will be added to Badram's roll.
Alrighty,
Awesome.
So I got a +1.
Okay, that's a 6.
You. So that was a 23 with fear. So
Hmm.
That's still a success.
It's still a success. It's
So,
it's a scary.
You
success.
scan anywhere around it, but this place is crowded. The bodies pressed close as they try and understand what's going on. When one kind of rolls back, his eyes rolling back into his head, they all take a gasp and take a step back from that odd sight. But as you're looking around, both yourself, Badram, and Zola, you don't find any trace of blood. And this place is filled, it's kind of gravel, but you don't see any odd footprints or anything like that. But you do hear very heavy footsteps crunching up the path towards you. And a gruff voice saying, "Out of the way. Make way."
We turn to see who that is.
Do we recognize that voice?
did you hear that? What a strange voice.
Is an enormous man, if you could call him a man. He's wearing overalls, he's dusted, and you can recognize him as the foreman here. He's just pushing people aside. He's easily head and shoulders above everyone else, except for maybe Warnick. Just kind of plowing through the people. Out of the way. What's the meaning of this?
We're trying to figure that out.
Do I know his name?
Make a knowledge check to see if you know him.
That is an 11 with fear.
And we're riding that fear train.
Hey, why
We're
not?
afraid.
Yeah.
Too much fear.
No, you don't know who this person is, but he
Oh.
catches. Sorry, go ahead.
Hunter, I have a thing called strange patterns. It's one of my class features. Can I use that?
How would you like to use it?
Well, I choose a number between 1 and 12. At the top of the session, I chose 5. If I roll that number on a duality die, I can gain a hope or clear a stress.
Okay.
Ooh, that's cool.
I will clear the stress,
Okay.
if that makes it. Okay.
Yep.
And then it's per long rest, so that's it.
Okay. So you've used it once for your long rest. The foreman catches sight of you, Zola. He just gives a.
Yeah.
It's when the hoity-toities of Dehan set foot within the dirty mines.
Well, I made my way here because of the alarm that was sounded. And
And apparently the
Unfortunate-
foreman wasn't here.
unfortunately, there is a dead body. And she kind of gestures over to Wanik and the body. Do you know what went wrong? Do you know what happened?
He surveys the situation, sees Warnick over the body, and Mal mouthing off to him. looks at you, Mal, and says, "And who the hell are you?"
Who am I? I am Malachite Embersong. You know my family name.
No, I don't. And what is he? What is that thing doing? Get him away. As he motions for other miners to pull Wannick away.
Yes, wait.
That's not a thing. That's a human man who has passed away, and you will show him respect.
Yes. I think he
Wannick.
means the giant fungus guy.
Wannick
Yeah.
tracks by scent. He knows Mal's family scent. He knows that autumn has this faint odor of brine.
You.
Zola smells like other sorts of metal and stuff.
Parchment.
He follows the tether to this man's spirit because this man loved spicy, fishy kimchi. And it's
Good stuff.
into the gray in between where the spirit is. You know, he's trying to contact him, get better connection so he could find this one memory, this one specific memory sensation about the moment this man died. And he follows this man's favorite scent of spicy, fishy kimchi into the gray in between. There's actually 4 souls there. They're Wannick and him, which are a little brightness in the gray in between. And there's Harakram, the princess bee, who's just a spread out yellow everywhere. She fills the whole space. And then there's a small little bit inside Wannick that neither they or Guam can see, but maybe the spirit can see. And he looks at Ninsu's soul and says, "I will bring your shoe if you show me what happened to you."
Can you make an instinct check for me, please, Wannick? And you'll get +1 because of your spirit affinity.
Ooh.
That was a cool word picture you just painted.
Instinct. +1.
Ooh.
I got 14. 13. With fear.
With fear.
Racking up those
Okay.
feet.
As you reach out into Minsu's corpse, just in search of who is this person talking to you about a missing shoe, you get the distinct impression that whoever is talking back to you is not Minsu. And at that time, I need you to make another instinct check for me, please. As you have opened yourself up to the spirit.
I don't like how. No. Oh no.
11 with hope.
11 with hope.
That's with hope.
That's good, right?
Does that mean that we gain hope?
That means Wannick gains hope.
Well, that's what I meant. Just
Yep.
we, as in like the
Yep.
royal we.
Yep. The royal we. Yeah, so Wannick could gain a point of hope. And with that 11, you feel whatever this thing is. All your senses are filled with this longing, this deep, undeniable sense that you have to get your shoe back. That is the only thing that matters.
That shoe.
Is it a boot, a slipper, high heel, cog? Like,
Still
does he got a picture of the shoe?
It is a simple straw shoe. And all you hear is, "My shoe. My shoe. Where's my shoe?" And the rest of you hear Wannick start to speak in this voice that is not his own.
Oh.
Hey, Mal, is your friend okay? Have you ever heard him speak like that?
No.
That is not normal. Are you okay there?
Well, there are a lot of things that are not normal about this situation, but
I agree.
No.
Although I've never been to a mine before, so I don't know how often.
That's a
that
whole
kind
part
stuff
of the
happens,
city.
but-
All right.
Yeah.
Mal's gonna
I'm busy.
brush. Mal's gonna ignore that, and he's gonna brush right past the foreman and purposefully shoulder bump him and go over to Wanek to see if he can, like, resuscitate him, communicate with him.
Hey, big guy. You alright? What's this about a shoe? I've never seen you wear shoes before.
I'll stay close just in case. Because I'm scared.
Get away
Like
from
this
me. You're, like,
momentary
right next.
lapse of shoe fetish just washes over you, and when Mal approaches you, you can hear his voice now, and you've come back to your senses.
You alright? Hey.
I think Wanek breaks contact. I think he's looking for Ninsu, but he doesn't find Ninsu. He finds something else, which is possible. Not that he has ever seen it in a Draconi or a human or elf, but, you know, something else is inhabiting this man's place where his soul will be, and it breaks the contract. I think it snaps back as Mal touches him, and he forcibly swings back, and he looks up at Mal. He has lost his shoe. We must find it for him. It is imperative.
What?
Did his shoe kill him?
Death by shoe? I feel like that's unlikely. Is there anything else that he...
Does Wanek have a sense of where the shoe is?
Not a clue.
Shoot.
You see the crowd has kind of taken another step back after witnessing this odd behavior. The two miners that the foreman had instructed to pull Wanek off the body have just frozen in their tracks. They're looking at each other. They don't want to get any closer to this scene. The foreman, disgusted with the lack of performance from his miners and everything that's going on, he's got strangers pawing over a miner's body. He rushes forward in aggressive steps and grabs each of you by the shoulder and tries to wrench you off and away from the corpse.
I'll try to, dodge that. I don't want him touching me.
Who is he?
You
who is
guys
he
want to
grabbing?
resist. Both of you. One in each hand, meaty hand, and just try to pull you away from the body.
Zola and Wanek, right?
No, that'd be Wanek and Mal.
Oh, Wanek
Oh.
and Mal. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I do an arcane barrage?
Yeah, you can.
As he's going, because she thinks he's being very disrespectful, as this is an obviously serious situation. There's a dead body, and all he's thinking about is getting back to work, which is very disrespectful to the dead. And so as he's going to try to touch her, you see her, she pulls out her wand, and then pieces of metal magic start to fly out towards him.
Damn, all right.
And so I can spend any number of hope and shoot magic projectiles that strike him within a close range. So I roll a number d6 equal to the hope spent. So I'm going to spend 2 hope to do that.
Okay.
Magic hope bullets.
And this is
Hope bullets. So just,
automatic hits.
2d6?
Yep.
Okay, that is 8.
8.
Does that mean 8 damage?
That's 8 damage, which translates to 2 hit points of damage to this individual.
So as he's trying to do that, she whips it out immediately and does it right at his face, kind of neck area, to just push him back and probably just catch him off guard and make it so it's hard for him to breathe.
All right. So these shrapnel goes flying into his face.
Oh.
He's unable to reach Wanek and Mal as you push him back with this barrage. And he says, "What is the meaning of this?" And he starts to rip away at the metal that's embedded in his flesh. And it just seems to have angered him even more.
You will not touch me.
Can you
And
make
I
a
can-
presence check?
Presence?
Yeah, do it.
I also have a slumber spell, so that's the next thing that I want to do is just make him go to sleep. Presence is just a +1. Okie dokie. That is a 14 with hope.
Right, take the hope.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
Woo!
He takes a step towards you as if he's going to he looks like he wants to rip you apart. But then he kind of catches himself, realizes who he's talking to. You just hear him breathing heavily. You are disrupting my operations.
And you are a stain to the Dayon Corporation. Today, I clean it. You're fired.
He suddenly looks shocked. Blood streaming down his face from these metal shards. You can't do that.
I believe that I can. And she kind of just taps, like, the Dayon Corporation badge on her arm.
He holds up a meaty finger in your face. You don't know. You don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with.
What's your name? Who am I dealing with?
He rips off his own overalls, like with the
Oh, God.
Dahan
Oh, God.
emblem on it.
Get
Just
naked.
he throws it on the ground, stomps on it, twists his foot into it so it's well into the dirt, spits on it for a good measure, and storms off.
A barbarian who's never been trained.
Never heard of you either.
Mel, he's gone.
I'm
should
sorry,
come to the
sorry.
mind
I know, I
talk
know.
to.
You couldn't help yourself.
Yes.
We have to take care of this body.
Yeah, sorry. I just
We
Yeah,
I
have
had
to
that-
notify. This man probably has a family who's worried about him. We have to notify his family. This is very
yes.
serious.
Wanik scoops him up. It's like a little baby in his arms, though. He
Yeah.
scoops him up and he stands up. His arms are all like akimbo, and he looks at Zola and he goes, "He will show us the way.
Yeah.
We'll
But
find-
this is
We
not
take
over,
him
though.
into the mind. He will show us the way
I
to his
know-
shoe."
I know
Oh.
there's
To the
more to investigate, but we have to take him back to his family.
Yes.
That is the most important thing right now.
There are other, yes, exactly. I agree. There are other things that we need to do before that. Also, there's still a crowd here, so maybe we should try and get them out of here first.
Can I use a plot point to get the crowd to kind of make like a respectful procession? That's the word?
Procession? Sure.
Yeah, for him.
All right.
I want it to be like in Mujin, when someone dies, like a community affair, is what I'm thinking. So people are kind of maybe heads down and respectfully walking with Wanik as he's holding the body. Kind of like in Harry Potter, what's his name was holding dead Harry in the last movie, you know? It was very sad.
The march.
Yeah, I just want it to be a respectful march for this man who has passed.
Pick up.
I mean,
you
we can
scoop
always
up-
get the shoe later.
I understand there is a shoe, and I understand there is a mystery behind this, but please let us stay focused on a man has lost his life, and a family will be grieving.
A soul was inside him that was not his own.
A soul?
Say what?
What do
Yes.
you mean, a spirit?
It was not his shoe. It was something else's shoe.
We
Okay,
gotta figure
so
out the shoe.
another soul, like a spirit, was inside of him, and you communicated with it?
I don't know if it was inside of him. It was whirled around him. Could not find Insu, but this other thing was there, looking for his shoe.
It was
I guess it makes sense.
like
Yeah, and he looked-
intertwined with him. Maybe.
He did look kind of messed up, and I can understand. I guess maybe that's what happens to your body when you got two spirits fighting for control. You'd get all twisted up.
We're making it way to his family home.
Lead this procession down the rail tracks towards the town of Mujin. A slow procession following you. The miners and the citizens who followed you up are now falling in line behind you. And as the sun begins to dip behind the trees, you hear a bell, a different sound. And Zola, you recognize it immediately as signaling the start of the Mujin Gala.
Oh. God.
Is that another dead body?
No, I have to go. She's like looking at her clock. I'm not supposed. There's the gala. You know of it, Bottom. You came last year.
Oh, yes.
I have
Do you
to.
need help again?
No, I have to go, but.
But
Oh my gosh. We have to take the body. I want to see that the body is taken to his family home.
I can take care of it. If you are in
I-
such a hurry to go back to your house,
Are you responsible?
what kind of question is
don't make
that?
him answer that.
I am responsible.
Maybe.
I can take him back to his family and explain what happened. You can go back
Okay.
to your party and to your general, your father.
It's just not. He's not a general, and it's not a party. Okay. Mal, can you go with him?
But what about the
Yes, we
I
got
do
this.
need to talk to you about the sword, but I still have a couple days.
Okay.
Gentlemen, we can do this.
Yeah.
Ah, then Mal can come with me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's a shame. Okay, we can handle this then. Should we start investigating the circumstances of this death and get back to you somehow?
I think we should reconvene after the gala.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where though?
Somewhere in the middle of the city.
Well, I know a spot.
What
If
is
you're open for suggestions, somewhere that no one would.
Well,
bother
actually,
us.
Vehemently shaking his head.
Okay, well, she sees Mal. She's like, "Well, I have my own place as well. I have a workshop where
Oh,
me
that
and
works as
I have
well.
I have a certain Magitech guild that we meet in a certain
Okay.
building, so we can meet there."
Well, sounds perfect in that case. Should we take care of this and go back to take him to his family and explain what happened, and maybe do a little investigation as well?
Explain? What will we explain?
We'll explain that we got there and. Well, I guess we don't have enough information to explain anything, but we'll take care of it.
Maybe you make something up that sounds nice. I am not built for such things.
Well, I won't make anything up. We'll have a conversation, an honest, earnest
Good then,
conversation.
we should sing the song of reclamation as we take him home.
Yes.
No, keep going.
Okay, well, see you later,
Water.
and
He's just humming down the road with his
Yes.
dead body.
we'll see you later then. And Mal, was
will
it? I have heard of your family, if it means anything.
We'll
See you
talk to you
later.
later.
Yep.
You see a couple of the villagers volunteer to escort you to where Minsu's family are. They live in temporary housing on a far outside town. It's basically a shanty town erected for migrant workers who come here to work for the mines. They don't make a lot of money. They don't have a very high standard of living. And what you essentially are brought to is corrugated steel type lean-to with a small open fire in front. You see a woman preparing a meal and her young daughter beside her. She sees this procession advancing towards her home with Warnock carrying the body of her dead husband, humming this strange tune. She drops the ladle that she was using to stir whatever was in the pot. She lets out a sharp yelp and runs towards you.
We will let her have a moment first. I feel like that's better before we even say anything. And eventually, if she's okay with it, of course, we could sit down and explain to her basically what we saw. That we heard the noise, the little whistle thing, and we rushed there and we found him. There were no signs of any conflict, no signs of anything else leading anywhere in the mines. The person who should be responsible wasn't there. He arrived later and he didn't know what was going either. So we're still investigating and trying to.
One it goes, shh, shh, shh. Baron's talkative. He just takes his big arm and pulls the woman in. He arranges the body so it's like sitting up on one side, arms down, looks pretty good, like folds over her. Then his big head looks back at his daughter and he makes a motion. And he looks at Barum and says, "Let's ask questions later, Barum. Perhaps we let them."
Right.
"A moment. What are your names?" "Ninsu." He wanted to say that he will miss you, but you were a good family to him. He pulls in the wife and kind of looks over her head because he's way taller than him. And Ninsu is probably propped up like a doll on one side. He looks over at the girl in the back and just tries to like reach her, but she's just a little bit too far. I don't know how old she is, trying to pull her in. Looks over at Bear. I'm like,
So, but you see the young girl. She looks maybe 7 or 8 years old, standing there, wide-eyed, seeing her mother in distress, seeing this enormous mushroom man holding what appears to be her father. She's frozen. She's clearly overwhelmed.
I take a half step closer and I take a step back. Just observe the family for a second. I will wait. And I'll take a couple of steps back. I'll stay close so I can still hear the conversation that is going on and I can be helpful to Anik, but I'll take a couple steps back and reminisce on what a privilege it is to be missed.
As you step back, a number of villagers move forward to take your space and immediately approach the young girl and the mourning wife and console them best they can. Wanik, you're still holding the body of her husband.
yeah, I think he watches Barum. He met Barum where he was at his master's grave and smell of steel, and he mistook. And I think he watches. He doesn't say anything, but I think his head turns, this massive head. He's holding the body and the woman in, and he's got him in close. And he turns as Barum seems to walk back and forth, and he watches them. And then he turns back to the community, really, and he asks Ninsu's wife where he should lay him down, or shall we take him into the house? He lets the people of the neighborhood and Ninsu guide him. He is just there for solace, but he realized that it might not work. He still tries to hum. Oddly, he can hum and speak at the same time because he has multiple vocal centers. But, he's still humming this song, this kind of reclamation song. It's this easy tone, soft tones that just kind of reverberate out of his center of his chest because he's trying to use that voice to give some degree of solace. But he understands that might not work as he turns around, watching Barum back away for a moment. He probably doesn't quite understand what Barum is, but maybe he does. Or he mistakes it for loss as he's suffered the same. And he lets the community and Ninsu's wife guide him on what to do.
Right. They direct you to a small cot at the back of the lean-to for you to lay the corpse down. And now the man's body seems to have suffered from a little bit of rigor mortis, and he's still in that twisted, grotesque shape. He's not lying flat, looking calm. He still looks pretty horrific.
Yeah, Wanek is going to do a thing. He's going to put one hand on the ground, this probably beaten ground without anything under this hut with corrugated steel, and he's going to use a power unlike probably what it's meant to. But he is going to use a point of hope, and he's going to use his power called Vicious Entangle. But what he's going to do with that is he's going to make a dais or coffin made of vines and growth that just come out of the ground, and lift that body up and straighten it out, lift it up a little bit, and those vines are going to pop out new leaves and this tiny little blue flower. If that's allowable to use his Vicious Entangle spell in a manner. And Vicious Entangle can restrain a target. So he's going to spend hope and do a spellcast roll to see if he can make this something memorable for the family and the community in this horrid kind of poor environment that he is, and lift him up off the ground, off this poor cot he is, on these vines and roots that come up out of the ground.
Make that roll.
Oh,
Critical success. Third one. That is crazy.
Nice.
I think with
All
the
right.
critical
Insane.
success is he pours himself into it, and it is beautiful, really. Flowers pop out underneath, and bioluminescence kind of deep around and kind of shroud around the Ninsu's body and straighten them out, and then conceal the worst of it from his 8-year-old daughter, so his 8-year-old daughter can view her father in this last moment and have a memory that's not terrible and fearful, really, for 8-year-old. Like, the passing was something remarkable.
On this magical, almost dais or altar, wherein the body of her father, the body of Minsu, is laid and gently pulled back into a more natural form. Flowers bloom and blossom across the vines that now kind of embrace man. There is a gasp of wonder from the crowd witnessing this. Whispers, "Oh, this is so beautiful. He would have liked this. This is so nice."
Nice.
And I'm going to give you another point of spirit.
That was cool.
Fitting. Fitting.
And I'll get back to you.
Wanted to have a quick conversation with Malachite as we're walking back.
Sure.
So I just have a quick question because I don't have much more time. I don't have much time. My father is really
Yeah.
on me about having this device
Mhm,
finished.
yeah.
So I just wanted to know, it's been a few months, so I am expecting it. Like
Listen,
I kind of need it like tonight type thing.
So I have like really good news, and news that's not good but not bad, if that makes sense. But let me dish the good first. So
Sure.
I had a breakthrough. All right, I figured out just the right temperament of my breath and the precision of my hammer on the smaller pieces of steel that you've been supplying. It hit me, and I made it. It wasn't a full sword. It wasn't, let's say, not a full like steel full blade, but it was like the length of a dagger, and he gestured with his giant hands, like, maybe like a foot of glowing, shimmering, just like my sword, just like it, but on a much smaller scale. So that is proof that it can be done, and that I can do it. But
So it's not the full sword. It's running late, so at least I guess I can take that size. That's better than nothing at all.
Yeah, what I'm gonna have to do is, I don't have it on me. I might have to just dash back home. I might have left it by mistake. In my rush to get here on time, because I understand your schedule is so important and I didn't want to be late. But
Can you
I-
can you come back within the hour?
yes, I absolutely can. I can
Okay.
do that. I promise you that.
Okay.
You won't be disappointed. You should have seen the spark of blue fire that came out when I struck it. It was incredible. Like he's like
Okay.
hunched over you, like
Yeah,
very.
she kind of steps back. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. So then I would recommend we just stop here. I know the way home, but if you can just go back real quick and then come back really
I
quickly with it.
I can make sure you get there safe. You know, there was a dead guy not too long ago.
I'm completely capable, but
That's actually very true. You knocked that guy out without even like touching him. That was
Yeah.
cool. That was really cool.
Yes.
um,
So if you we're just on a tight schedule, so if you can, and then I can call you. You can come back, and then we can present the dagger. So I didn't tell him it was a sword, so that's good. So
Yeah, perfect. We can work with that. Yeah.
yep.
He salutes.
You don't have to. I'm not a general.
I'm sorry, force of habit from
It's okay.
from my dad.
Okay. I'm not your dad either.
No, you are most certainly not. Which is a great thing. Anyway,
Yes.
I will meet you within less than an hour.
Perfect. Even better. Even better.
And he spins and goes off in a full sprint, shouting, "You won't regret this!"
She's just nodding at you and kind of just speed walks back because she has to get changed.
Where are you sprinting to, Mal?
Yeah.
Mal
Yeah, Mel.
has an idea of where the blade is, but it's not home. It's the evening right now. He knows exactly where his sister is. And his sister Opal is the only other living being that knows about his project. And he knows that she's patrolling just near the edge of town, not too far from home, but he knows exactly where she should be at this time. And if she's not there, he's going to be making a stop at the missing cog. And because that's the second place she would be. Now, I have this. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, actually, you can let me know if I can use this, but to increase my speed of which to reach Opal, I have the ability Deft Maneuvers. Once per rest, I can mark a stress to sprint anywhere within far range without having to make an agility roll to get there. To basically just sort of like go, like the way I look at it is it's sort of like an adrenaline rush he gets, similar to his Dracona lineage, but he needs a little bit of a break before he can do it again. So realizing this is an emergency and he really doesn't want to blow this, he's going to utilize that to get to Opal as quickly as possible.
You break out into a sprint. You know exactly where she is. I'm going to have you roll an instinct check, though.
Okay. Should I mark the stress and the maneuver?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
I will do that right now. Okay, and I have, you said instinct, correct?
Hmm?
Okay, I have a +1 to that. So let's go ahead and see how I do. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
What? What?
Bro, how? How?
I have no
Is
words.
That's like what-
insane.
It's like
That's awesome.
And the roll above it is a 4 and a 4. It's crazy.
all I'm saying is like we're all GMs and we all know that there's always that phrase that, like, GMs usually when they become players they're cursed to roll low and not roll well, and for whatever reason that's working in my favor for this game.
That is insane.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
that is a critical success.
That's your second
Yeah, so-
double ones too.
Yeah.
So go ahead, gain a hope, reduce a stress.
Oh my god.
That stress is gone. All right.
And as you are sprinting across town,
Oh Oh my god.
towards the missing cog, it twigs on you. Balaram is not at the cog. Balaram was last seen with Wanek going to the poor part of town to deal with the dead man and his family. Opal is on patrol there now. She would have likely seen this procession. She would have likely seen Balaram. So as you are rushing towards the missing cog, this kind of twigs. You're just about to go down that dark alley. You change your mind and head back towards the shanty town. And lo
He
and
crashes
behold,
into like a wall and then about faces and continues with the momentum so as to not lose speed.
like a little a pinball.
Yeah.
Right. And lo and behold, there is your sister happily marching right towards and you can see Bottom just a little further away from her. She hasn't reached him yet with that critical success.
Oh, he's going to he's going full sprint, but then he goes from full sprint to running to jogging to that power walking sort of vibe that like when you know you're in trouble and your parents coming towards you, come here, let's have a talk. Come here. Let's have a conversation. And he's going to very much.
You're not in trouble.
You're not in trouble. No. We just have to have I just got to talk to you about something. And he's going to make eye contact with her. Like he's not fooling around this time. He's making sure that she sees him coming. And
She jumps out of her skin once more and says, "How the hell do you do this? How?"
Double ones.
I never reveal my secrets.
Okay.
Except apparently, I made a mistake in revealing one to you.
and he puts his big draconic hand out.
Give it back.
You make a presence check for me, please.
Oh boy, that's the thing I'm bad at. I love this.
If you are trying to be intimidating, I'll let you roll strength.
Oh, he's being intimidating. He's
Okay.
he's not fooling around. All right, so that's a
Come on, you got this. You got this.
All righty, let's do this.
Just roll just another double.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
another double.
Yeah.
All right, 2d12 plus 2.
Imagine. Okay.
Finally.
That is a 14
Finally.
with hope.
Nice. Still good.
All
Still
right.
good.
So I gain that hope, I believe. Yes.
She looks at you and says, "We're just going to give it to that Dehan lady. Baram could do so much more with it."
Barham is not the head of the company that owns 2/3 of this town.
Yeah, but what do you get out of this? What is she offering you?
She's going to make sure that our family name doesn't get forgotten.
Baram could do that too. You just have to. He'll
Barham
just
is
put on
not one of
his-
us. Listen, I
Upset.
understand. I understand his charisma. I can see it. I've been around the guy enough to see how people look at him.
Charisma.
He is not the answer to our problems. Our family needs this. You know, Dad's getting on in years. And I need this. All right, Opal. I don't get to be a soldier like you and Flint and Slate and Mom. I don't get to go that way. My path is at the forge with Dad. And could be a really big thing for me too.
She sheepishly reaches into her satchel by her side and flips it open and pulls out. It's wrapped up really nicely in some cloth.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. You have
I
you got a big
but-
heart. I get it.
but maybe you would just let Bottom do one show with it before you give it to Zola. Just one.
Okay, how about this? The next one I make,
Oh, but this one's so pretty.
this one has a debut in a little over a half an hour. If I still have it by the end, I'll think about it. All right? It's not a no, but it's not a yes. I'll think about it. All right? And maybe I'll be nicer to him.
Really?
May
He
I see
realizes
them?
that like his family's all about their word is their bond, and he's like, I'll try to be nicer to him.
May I see them in the distance?
Go ahead and make an instinct roll, Bob. See if
Story
you caught
point.
any of it. Yeah, if you want to, you
Okay.
can.
A instinct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I use anything? No, not really. No, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You
I
got
need
this.
it.
You got it.
I got it. I got it. Just a plus
Double,
one.
Double,
I got it. I got
double,
it.
double. Come on.
Hey, that was a 14 with fear.
Okay.
That's still a good roll. I've got 9 fear now, guys.
Oh,
Yep.
God
Yep.
damn
So-
it. Ah.
You
All right.
you kind of hear a bit of a commotion going on behind you, Bottom, as you kind of slink back away from Wannick. You turn and you can see Mal and Opal talking. And you'll probably, with that 14, maybe catch the last little part of that conversation.
I'm feeling my ears getting warm. Oh, Mal! Malachite! Hello! Hi! I just start jogging towards him.
Hey,
Hello there. I wasn't expecting to see you so soon. Me and Mike
no,
were-
no. This is just checking on my sister. She's part of the guard, so I'm glad the guard's here to take
Oh.
note of things.
That's your sister. Thank you for your service. I put my hand out.
Don't do it.
She
Oh.
kind of
I am
suppresses
Butter.
a giggle. I know. I'm Opal. I'm Mal's little sister.
Mal's like biting his teeth. He's grating his teeth.
It's a
So
pleasure
I
to
like-
meet you.
I like
yeah,
you.
the steam.
I've seen you perform. I think you're wonderful.
Really great, yeah. Mhm.
Thank you so much.
I,
but you know,
I feel kind of foolish. I was coming here with a gift,
for
but
me,
my
I
brother
would love a
thought
gift.
better of it.
Oh, right. So, not a gift. It's okay. No problem at all. Maybe another time then.
Yeah, that'd be great. Another time. Mhm.
Of course, we wouldn't want to, take time away from your brother. He's very busy. Aren't you working on an important project?
Yeah, I'm just checking on things here. I had to make sure that the guard was informed of the situation, and Opal's got that covered. He gives like awkward salute to her, and so I'm gonna get going, and we'll meet back with you and Wannick. Looks like you guys have this under control.
Yes, everything okay. Actually, Wennick has it under control.
Very cool, awesome. I'm so
Just
glad that
too
you are in
much.
charge of this. I am gonna go now.
Where are we going?
Oh no. I have a thing to go do. You should let Opal, the guard, know about the situation that happened here, and Opal will do her job and take note of the incident and nothing else, and
I'll take
report it
very
back
good
to her
notes.
captain and nothing else. And
Yep.
that's it. I gotta go do something, and we'll reconvene in our thing afterwards. And he like gives a steely look to Opal. Good luck, and do your
Right.
duty.
Gives you a quick peck on the cheek and ropes her arm into yours, Bottom, and says, "Let's go. I'll give you a full report."
Oh, of course. I'm.
She'll give you
Aren't I the one telling you that? Well,
What is she
whatever does
reporting to
that
him?
mean?
As
Whatever
a-
that is, I'll be glad to hear.
She's gonna give you a full report about it.
See you later, man.
Bye.
with your
As he's
thing.
like wringing his hands and like he's just singing under his breath. I will break your neck if you touch. Focus, no, focus. And he gives a he gives a wave to Wanik, who probably
Yes.
was very aware of the
Yes.
heat rising from him.
Yes. Yes. I start walking away like closer to Wendick. I'm like just saying, did you know that opal actually means precious stone? It's a very direct name. And I just start walking away.
Beautiful
Wanna-
name for a beautiful woman.
Wannick looks over at Malachite leaving and Barham walking by. And, well, I'm sure Opal's somewhere around. How old is Opal, by the way? Just so I.
She's 19,
Oh, she's an adult.
but you can decide if Wanik understands this. But Mal's gonna do like the eye contact to you, to eye contact to Opal, then eye contact to Barham, to eye contact back to you, and the back to him with a thumbs up.
He looks
Basically
at,
trying to be like, keep an eye on this for me.
Does he know what that means?
he doesn't, but he gets a sense of what it probably is, so he catches up with Barham, and Opal probably has her arm entwined with his, and he looks down at him and says, "Is this a spore giver ceremony? Are we creating something new?"
I mean, not necessarily.
Where are we going?
Well, we are, for now, we are free, so we can actually do some investigation regarding the death of Ming-Su. We should tell what we know to Opal. Maybe she could help us as well. She's a guard.
The guard.
She's Malachite's sister.
Malachite has long gone and has bit his tongue multiple times on the way.
Yes. Opal, did you know that Malachite could mean soft?
Yeah. Oh, he's a big softie.
Yes, comes
You-
from the
you know,
origin
he-
of the word.
He might be a little rough around the edges, but
Malachites always are.
once,
Classic.
and once he sees how just amazing you are, he'll come around.
Oh,
I quite like him. I think he's very competent. Well, let's have a conversation. A guy died, so we should investigate the cause of it, because it was very
Oh.
weird. His eyes were
Oh,
black,
yeah.
not normal, not at all.
There's that.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay. If you think that's the right thing to do.
I do, yes.
Girl.
I believe so.
I am going to pan the camera back to the gala, where we find Zola. You tell me what clothes you change into.
So she's wearing a very elegant gown. It's like a zero blue color. And you see like not a deep V, but you could see there's a pretty deep line. You could see her chest. She's wearing a pendant that shows the sigil of the family in a necklace. And then she has a shawl as well. It's kind of wrapped around. She's wearing like a low heel as well. Her sister is wearing a similar gown, but hers is in black, different cut. She's a little bit taller. So she's just kind of walking in step with her sister as they are making their way into the main gala foyer area.
The entrance is lined with courtiers and onlookers oohing and awing at the pageantry of fashion walking into the Mujin gala.
I know you want to call it the Met Gala.
Almost.
Yeah, you see artists there with their easels frantically trying to capture all these fashions.
Yeah.
Once you enter, you see on the far end of the ballroom your father speaking with other Daehan officials.
Mm.
Your mother is nowhere to be seen.
Oh, that's strange. She should be here. She's usually by his side. Also, is her older brother here as well?
Yes, the rest of your family is here.
My mother isn't here. And then if my sister is, do you know where is Mom at? Where is she? She's usually by.
I thought she came with father.
I know. Yeah, she's usually by his side during these things. I'll go search for her because he will probably want to go find her. And if this night doesn't go perfectly, we all know how it's going to end up. So
Yeah,
Just-
that's a good idea.
okay. I'm just
I'm
like
gonna
looking
have you-
around. Yeah.
Make a finesse check to see if you can
Okay.
sneak away before your father sees you.
Oh, great.
That's a lot of dice.
I think I pressed it 4 times. I'll take the
Panic
top.
is real. The panic is real.
We'll try
But
just roll
listen,
again.
listen. If you let me take the bottom 2, that is 2 8s.
No.
Andrew, come on!
No.
Everybody got doubles except for me. Wow.
No.
Okay,
no,
fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay, fine. Just
You had to bargain.
okay.
Oh,
that is
nice
21 with hope.
That's still a
Okay.
good roll.
Yeah.
Very good
I
roll.
wanted the double.
All right, so you can see as you kind of slip behind a crowd of people, your father just suddenly turn his head towards the entrance and kind of do a quick scan of the room looking for you. But you managed to avoid his attention. And where would you like to sneak off to in search of your mother?
I'm going outside first. There is like a courtyard outside, and there's like a large pond area. It's very peaceful. There's some like koi fish inside of it, and they're not real. They are Zola had made them, and they kind of have like small lights inside of them, and they kind of mechanically move around inside of the water. So she is going to go check there first to see if she's outside.
Do see the unmistakable form of your mother in a very beautiful, elegant white gown with the azure blue trim, the colors of the Dehan Company. And she stands motionless in front of the pond. She doesn't seem to notice you're there.
Mother? Mother, are you busy? Are you okay? And she just kind of walks to go look at her, like she like peers around her shoulder.
She seems lost in thought as she gazes into the pond at the mechanical goldfish swimming about.
Mhm.
And she says, "A man died today."
Yes, a man did die today. How did you know? News hasn't traveled out yet.
News travels fast in this small town, especially if it concerns the mines. Your father would be the first to know.
Oh, I guess he would know, yes.
And where is he now?
The man was taken to his home. He was given a respectful procession back to his home.
He seems to fall into silence once more. As
Should
Barely.
we come in? It's quite cold outside. Should we go inside? Or do you want to take my shawl?
Oh, thank you, dear. It won't be much longer. I'd like to stay out for just a little while longer. You're more than welcome to stay if you like.
I can't stay. I'm presenting later to certain investors and to father, so I have to go, but are you sure you're okay? Can she tell, like, if Zola's looking at her? She's kind of examining her face and, like, her countenance.
I'd make an instinct check.
Instinct. Okay. Instinct. That is +1. So. That is a 12 with fear.
Your mother is typically on point with these types of social affairs.
Right, so.
And to see her in such a mood, you know something is bothering her.
Mhm.
10 fear down, by the way.
Yeah.
And it says, "What do you know about the Festival of Falling Leaves?"
I know that it is outdated. I know that it's not very festive these days. I have to worry about the gala, so I don't really have time to look into it much.
Of course. She turns around and grabs your hand almost suddenly.
Oh.
And she looks directly in your eyes and says, "We have lost our way."
What do you mean? I'm quite capable of searching and finding where I need to go.
Oh, my dear, you are the most brilliant young woman. I'm so proud of you for
Thank
these wondrous creations of yours that adorn our home.
you. Thank you. She hasn't heard her mom say this in a long time. Okay.
There is more than that.
I know. I have a lot of ideas. I have more inside of me that I can make and create and to give. I know that I have more.
She looks at you and smiles weakly, and
Yeah.
it's clear that she's a little sad
Yeah.
when you say
she's-
that.
Yeah, I'm just trying, like, holding on to her hand. Are you okay? Is there something that you're not saying? Or...
He looks past your shoulder, and framed in the light of the ballroom stands your father. And as soon as she sees him, she lets go of your hand and withdraws into herself.
Yeah.
You should go
Oh.
in.
I'll look back to see what she's looking at and then see him as well. Yes, we should go in, yes?
Yeah, and please, let's keep this conversation ourselves.
Sure. I mean, you just told me that I have more creations inside me. I don't see anything wrong with the conversation.
She pauses for a moment, and you can see your father still looking at the two of you. And she turns so that her back is to him, and he can't see what she's saying to you. And says, "We have forgotten. And I'm afraid of the price we will pay."
And she just looks at her confused. I think we should head inside. And I'm gonna like have one hand on her back and just kind of guide her inside.
And she turns around with you. That solemn, almost sorrowful look on her face is completely erased by a bright smile.
Yeah.
And she puts on the facade of hostess. No.
Then we go walk in to meet him, and I kind of look at, it's like there's a clock on the wall somewhere, and I'm thinking like, where is he? She like one kind of like one finger is kind of like jittery tapping. As she, they walk up to her father.
As you pass your father, he says, "Is everything okay?"
Yes, we just needed a breath of fresh air. There's a lot of people here, and I think Mother just needed to clear her mind for a second. So, but we're back now. We're fine.
We have guests waiting.
Of course.
And I'm very eager to see what you have created.
Of course. Me as well. And I'm eager to present it. Looks at the clock. I will go get it. So you will just, I will be right back. And she goes out to the front. She's like waiting where like the people are to open up the doors. There's carriages coming in with people. And she's just kind of waiting. Where is he? Come on.
As Mal sprints across town.
Are you using your little dragon thing?
Well, I used it to get to Opal so that I had the time to get back. So he
Okay.
would definitely be arriving. But he hasn't changed.
Yep.
He
No, you're not dressed.
is-
You're not dressed. for
He's in his sweaty blacksmith leathers and clothing, a light chainmail like vest shirt. Again, no sleeves, just trouncing through the streets with his satchel, clutching his satchel, making sure he keeps the strap on his sword, and he's like sees the line, and he rushes to the front, and he just like looks at the sentry, being like,
I just have a delivery to drop off. May I please go through?
I see
I'm
you.
sorry, I'm sweaty.
You hear me in the background. He's with me. Please let him in.
You see the sentry just kind of look at Mal rather doubtfully and clearly judging you. Here's Zola wave him through. He kind of takes a step back, but disapprovingly lets you pass.
Disapprovingly.
he's
Still-
like a 7-foot tall guy, almost 7 feet tall dude, just walking by.
Okay, so
Yet he feels small in that moment.
Now you know how I feel.
okay. Oh God, you are sweaty. Okay.
I told you I would be here within the hour, and an Ember Song keeps their word.
And you certainly have. She gets really close to you and she touches your arm. I knew I could count on you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would you like to join the gala and help me to present it to my father?
And he looks at himself.
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll get you cleaned up and we'll get you a pair of clothes, of course.
You sure? I'm kind of a big guy.
First of all, I'm magical, and second, our tailor is also magical.
Magical tailor.
Magical tailor.
Whoa. Yeah, let's do it. Sure.
Okay, well, follow me. I'm going to okay, so do you have like the sword out or the
Yeah, no,
dagger
he
or
opens
whatever?
up the satchel like,
Oh, so you can, just so you know, here, you can get a look before you, and you can decide how you want to present.
and he opens
Wow.
it, and
Yes.
he opens up the very neatly wrapped dagger, and you can see the same shimmering blue hue against
Mhm.
the edge of the blade from the fort all the way down as it curves into a small little point with a tightly interwoven grip with a fine cross guard made of some like nice silver with a pommel arced like a small dragon head.
Yeah, so she's like taking it out, it's in her hands. She's like, this is beautiful. And you got the colors right too.
And yeah, it's just the transferring of the heat, and you keep the color of the ghost, the ghost flame from the steel.
I would have preferred it a couple weeks ago, but I'm glad it's here now. I just need to get my attachment and add it on to your sword.
Okay, yeah, just
And we make our sword baby
together. Yeah, sword
together.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a creation, actually. It's a sword creation.
Sword baby.
Creation.
That's
What is
the
a
name of
baby
this
but
weapon.
creation? Yeah.
Okay,
Sword
so
baby.
follow me. And then
Sure.
I'll kind of like snap my fingers. A couple of people come with us, and they lead you to a room with like a huge bath. It's more like it's like a hot tub, like jacuzzi type size. And you see like two women who are like attending to you as they just kind of wait for you to get inside and strip. And you see them off to the side, but they don't leave.
Oh, you guys aren't leaving.
They don't.
Okay.
Yeah, they just wait for you.
All right. He very uncomfortably like disrobes himself, and again he's like a very top heavy. Like he's on the taller side of the Dracona. And he's pretty top heavy, and he's awkwardly like just like,
And he looks like everything. Oh, all right.
They nod at you. It's a human. It's not a human body, but it's a body, and they've seen one, and it's basically like a mother looking at their baby. Like it's nothing.
Okay. And he does it, and he jumps into the tub.
Okay,
It's a little
and
cold.
then they go. I will go off to grab my like attachment, like my Magitech attachment that will kind of slot itself into your design as well.
Sounds good. I will make sure I look presentable. Is this a bow tie thing or a long tie thing?
You don't have to worry about it at all. They will give you the correct clothes.
Oh, that's so easy.
So easy.
Oh.
And if you become a partner with the Daeon Corporation, in your future, it could possibly look like this. You could have women wait for you while you bathe.
What?
And she kind of walks back out, goes to her workshop real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. By the time you just be quick. Okay. 10 minutes.
He leans back and he just takes a big exhale. He's never been in a tub this nice or waited upon in his entire life.
They like start to scrub your hand and get under your fingernails, start to
Oh, yeah.
clean, and you start to clean your legs.
Be gentle with the tail. He's got a
Be
he's got a
gentle
short
with
ta-
the tail.
Yeah.
All right. So Mal, as you are literally soaking it up in this luxurious tub
Oh my
with
God.
attendants, no less, Zola, you running back to your workshop?
Yeah,
Grab the
she's grabbing there's an attachment that slots onto it so that it's not just it's his creation but also hers, and that's what's going to make this like the ultimate presentation.
Okay. And when you get back to your workshop,
Yeah.
it's not too far from the venue of the gala. Do you assemble it right in your workshop before bringing it back, or?
Yes, yeah. So I'm trying to assemble it as quickly as possible.
I'm going to spend one of my fears here.
Oh no.
Great.
Don't
Oh,
want
this
that.
is okay.
Nope.
Okay, this is when you use it. Okay. So
This-
for anybody who wants the GM, you do it at the worst points. That's what okay.
You have
It's the danger point.
beautiful,
It's-
What
this
Andrew?
beautiful ghost steel dagger forged by our good friend Mal. Have your device fits like a glove as you slide it onto the blade of this dagger. It was meant for a sword, but a dagger will suffice with a small few adjustments.
Yep.
As you do so, I need you to make a strength reaction, please.
Oh,
So on a
strength.
reaction roll, you just roll your duality dice. We won't
Okay.
count any hope or fear.
Okay. And it's strength. Okay. So just 2d12 then?
You got
Or-
this. You got this.
2d12? Okay.
You got +2 in strength, right?
I have that's a 12 with hope. Or hope doesn't matter, right? Or
Hope doesn't matter. So it's
Okay.
just a 12.
yeah.
I am going to roll some dice now.
Okie dokie.
Never a good thing.
And he has to
Uh-oh.
roll dice.
You don't
So
got
you're
this.
going to take
You don't
9
got this.
points of damage.
Got it. Okay, okay. And then so that is major. So
And this is not
I marked
your
2
armor.
Major?
oh, sorry. I have 3 armor.
You cannot use armor for this because what happens when you slide your attachment on, make that final adjustment
Yeah.
so that it fits perfectly. This beautiful device, a marriage of a blade and
Magitech.
what do you call it? Magitech, screams as if
oh.
you have just stabbed someone and it is an agony and it fills the room. You have to drop
Oh.
the dagger and the device and you're holding your hands up against your ears as the dagger itself screams. And that's when you take the damage. You'll take 2 hit points of damage, I believe, from that.
Right. Okay. So I'm trying to understand that. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can see you can feel the blood kind of trickle down from your ears. Across town, Warnock, as you create this beautiful final resting place for this poor man. And the townsfolk are in awe and thankful for this beautiful display and such a generous offer from you. I'm going to have you make an instinct check.
You got this. You got this.
Oh, a quick question. Would any of my experiences help?
That's a 4. That's a total of a 4.
Oh.
A 1, a 2, and a 1.
I'll go back to your experiences. Do you have anything that might help you in this case?
You're talking to what?
Wanick?
Oh.
Or-
Zola, sorry.
I have the Dahan Corporation Magitech Innovator. So, and I have an Etheric Systems Diagnostician. So that's just how it just means that
I'll let you roll a knowledge
Okay.
check. You can spend the hope to apply those experiences and let me know what you get.
Okay. Knowledge, and I used hope, so that is +4.
Ooh.
That's a 19 with hope.
Nice.
Right, so take
Sorry,
that
they both
hope.
look like 6s for a second. I thought I got
Right.
doubles. I was almost excited. Okay.
It'll
It was
come. It'll
6
come
and a
one
9.
day.
It'll come. It'll come.
With that 19 with hope, you're still going to take that damage. You
Right.
weren't anticipating this reaction when you connected your device with the dagger, but you will know.
Yeah.
There have been rumors, and you would always dismiss them as just that, your father especially. Ghost coal. Initially thought to be named because the flames that they produce when they're burning are blue and they resemble ghost fire. But there are those who believe that there are actually ghosts, souls trapped in this coal.
Oh.
And as you stand there in your workshop, blood streaming from your ears as this intense scream fills the air, it sounds like a soul in torment. Wanna, with that incredible roll, you do not notice black
no.
ooze that has been seeping from this man's orifices
No.
sink into the ground and reach the mycelial network. And there is a moment in your humming, in your ceremony, your ritual that you're performing for these people, and final goodbyes to this man. You feel a coldness. And you have a sudden thought. Where is my shoe? That's where we'll end tonight's session.
Hey!
Ah,
The
Oh,
shoe.
God. Someone in the chat said, "Oh, hey, they did it. They said the title in the show.
Yes.
They found mom." Like when I found my mom, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh gosh, you're
Yes.
right.
We did it.
Gotta
We
work that
found
in.
mom. She was outside."
Yes.
She was
All right.
outside the whole time.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll be back next week. But in the meantime, on Saturday, we've got 2 live streams going. We've got an interview with Wanik, aka Shallow Lines, aka Gene. And in the afternoon, we have Maia running. Obajima?
Yes, we are back with the adult arc. This is like the official full campaign.
Yes.
We're back. This is session 1. It's been 5 years and it's been 3 weeks. We're all ready to get back into Obajima. So
Yes.
that's going to be really fun.
And the
Awesome.
puns will be back.
Oh, no.
The puns
Well,
are
looks like
gonna
the campaign
stay.
is over.
Hey, no,
No,
come on.
It's going to be great. We're all very excited. We got custom character art that is
Yes.
amazing. So
That's
very
cool.
excited to show that off.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. And thanks for joining us, guys. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.